welcome to the Projection Project. My name is Rain. I'm your super awesome, epic, and cool host. And today I have with me Olivia.
Hello.
that was like the epitome of the standing emoji. So how do you feel about being called out in last week's episode?
Kind of targeted, not gonna lie. I mean, that day I was planning on changing my script. So.
Literally. Did I tell you that you were in whenever I was like, hey, you should listen to the podcast, and I mentioned you? Did I say that to you?
Yeah, that's why I watched it.
And then you're like, whoop. Literally, that day she's like, I'm thinking about changing my Harry Potter script.
I didn't.
Fun fact.
I didn't do it.
Anyway. So Olivia and I have been trying to shift for a while. How long have you been trying to shift?
Probably about a year now.
I have also been, it's definitely been over a year because I don't remember how long exactly when I started, and you're probably the same way. Unless you marked your calendar.
The specific day.
Yeah, but like a star.
I remember my friend telling me about it in maybe August or something. Just mentioned it, but I didn't start actually looking into it until September.
I got into it in mid-September or early September because I got into Draco Talk, and just like everyone else.
I don't know how I got there, honestly.
What?
I don't know how I got there, but I was there.
Literally. And then the best thing ever is that my college roommate was also on Draco Talk. So her and I talked about it. And then I came across the shifting video where people kept talking about how they were at Hogwarts for several months. And I was like, what? I was like, I want to go there. So that's literally where it all started. Was the video of the girl crying. Did you see that video?
I don't think so.
And then everyone kept, oh my god, I don't even
know.
Wait, what?
Lots of tears though. I've seen a lot of videos of people crying.
Yeah, or people sitting there just blank face.
No, yeah.
So obviously since we've been trying to shift for a long time, we've probably, I know I have, but you've probably tried lots of methods, right?
A few. I mean,
a few.
I've been pretty stubborn in the fact that I stick to the same thing because I don't want to try new things, but I've tried a few, yeah.
So do you want to go through the layout of some methods you've tried?
Sure.
Okay, and what would you rate them, or how well did they work for you? Do that as well.
So the first method I probably heard of was the Raven method, but that wasn't the first one I tried. I tried the pillow method first because I was like, it's easy. And why not? Because you literally just put I'm pretty sure you just put your script under your pillow and then go to bed.
Yeah, that was it.
That's how it was. Didn't work for me.
Spoiler alert.
Didn't work. So then I think I went to the Raven method. And then
I almost said did it work, but clearly it didn't.
No. It gave me symptoms, but it wasn't enough, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And after the Raven method was not working, I tried the piano method one night, and that was because I'm pretty sure it was Nat that piano method, and I was like, all right, she shifted, I'm gonna use it. Didn't work. Could not visualize enough for that. Probably another 0 out of 10. And then from then on, I've been doing the Julia method.
What was your favorite method that you used? Or you've done? Julia?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of a combination of two, I think.
Do you do the Julia X Raven?
Yeah.
I know that's really common.
Yeah, I know. I lay still, even though that was
debunked.
Yeah, even though that was proven false, like I still do it. I think it's because like my mind can't get past the fact that you can move. So
I am like that too.
I can't think about shifting if I move. It's weird. But Julia X Raven.
Oh, sorry. No, keep going. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just filling in the blanks there.
um, I've done a lot of methods. The first method I ever did was the Raven method. And the Raven method worked for a while, and then like I stopped getting symptoms, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm done. And I used the Raven method for a really long time. And then I tried the Julia method like twice, and then I was like, nope. And so I talked about this, I think, in the second episode about how much I hate the Julia method. But I know people love the Julia X Raven, and I'm so for people mixing methods and creating their own. But and then after that, I use the Sunny or Sunny method. I pronounce it Sunny. I really like the Sunny method because I'm really good at visualizing, so I was all for it. It was really hard though. Like I really struggled since it was like I was in the beginning of shifting. So I was like, I don't know, it was really hard. I tried that probably for like a week and I was like, I can't do this anymore. And then that's whenever Nat was like, I do the piano method. And so then I used the piano method for a really, really, really long time. The only problem I had with the piano method, you know how at the end you're supposed to like open a door and you're supposed to see like a white light?
I couldn't get that far.
How far did you get?
No, or I didn't see the light or something like that. Or I rushed it and it just didn't happen.
That method taught me not to rush, which I'm really thankful for. Because I was rushing a lot in the beginning. So that's the problem with like methods like that and a couple other methods. But that method overall taught me not to rush, and I'm kind of glad. Anyway, at the end, I always never saw, like anytime I opened the door, I never saw like bright white light, or I never saw the night sky or whatever the fuck you're supposed to see. I always saw just black. I'm like, so and then after that, around then came the time where people are like, you don't need a method. Now everyone was like, what? And then so then I
texting you, what is a no method?
What?
I always texted you asking you what's the no method, and you're like, it's no method.
Yeah, no, you literally just go to sleep like within. I guess I technically do the no method. I'll get there. Hang on.
Yeah.
And then I said I did no method, but in reality, I was doing Raven X Sunny. And I loved it. So if you like visualizing, I highly suggest Raven X Sunny. But I didn't count on my own. I had a meditation count. And now the meditation is privated, which makes me really sad because I loved it. I think I gave you the link to that, and then we're like, it's privated. And it was in my link tree for a while as well.
It was good though.
I don't know why they privated the video. Anyway, and then after that, I skipped a portion. I skipped a method. As you can tell, I've tried a lot. I used before I did Raven X Sunny, and so in between piano and Raven X Sunny, I did the portal method because I was debating between the Alice in Wonderland method and the portal method. So the portal method, I made a video about this a really long time ago on my account because I made a video rating methods that I've tried. Basically, it's like you like walk to a portal that's like far away. This is like where like I was really glad that learning patience came in with shifting. And then you through the other side of the portal, you see your DR self staring back at you, and then your DR self is like, come, or whatever the heck they say. I don't remember. Or like, are you ready to come over? And then your soul basically goes over the other side. And then once you're in your DR body, you can see your seer self staring back at you. And then in your DR body, you go to sleep where you're supposed to wake up. That was basically the portal method. I really liked it. It was the first time I'd ever floated before with that method. So if you're really good at visualizing and you're really patient, I suggest that method. I just did a really shit job explaining it though. And then now I do no method technically. So yeah.
I've I know I said that I've done Julia from like then until now. I lied. I um, I remembered that I did try the Estelle method at one point. Did not work either. Couldn't visualize long enough. So that like went completely over my head. If I remember correctly, that's the one where you're like dancing with your like your comfort character, or, like who you want to be in a relationship with or whatever. But I just never knew where to go after like the dance was over.
I think
like,
they're supposed to like take your, I don't know. It's something with like the character that's supposed to like take your hand. I don't know.
But
there were sorry, keep going.
After that, I kind of do what I do now, which is nothing. I put on a meditation of my choosing. It could be the Julia method meditation without actually doing the Julia method. It could be the Raven method meditation. I almost said the Ravenclaw meditation, or it's like this first one. I don't know. Why am I going on Spotify? This is one meditation. I don't know if it's Athena or like Athena. Do you know what I'm talking about?
It was about the Ollie Near ones.
Wait,
the one I sent in the group chat.
What? That one?
Oh yeah, the Alethea's Desired Reality meditation. I used that for the longest time, but I hated how long it was, and I was starting to like once I listened to it long enough, I memorized what she was saying, and then I was rushing the video in my head, so I had to switch what I was listening to.
Yeah. So typically I choose between one of the three that I just said. I listen to it and I accidentally fall asleep. And then I wake up and then I go back to bed again later. And it just happens over and over. I say some affirmations, I set the intention, and that's where what we're working with. Oh my god.
I currently, as of right now, mid-October, well, currently it is 10:19, in case anyone's wondering what day we're filming this. I love, okay, Ollie, I think their name is Ollie Near. They say their name in every video and I've yet to figure out how to pronounce it. I love their videos. Their 5 senses one is the first one their 5 senses meditation, which is basically the Sunny method. That was a meditation I used first. It was just too long that I kept falling asleep through it. So I was like, I want to try something else. And then they came out with this shifting hypnosis, and I love it. I have used the shifting hypnosis before and it worked pretty well, but this one has almost made me shift a couple times. So I highly suggest the shifting hypnosis by Ollie Near. So that's
I sent that to the group chat as well.
Yeah, I did. Because I thought someone was talking about it. So yeah. I guess that's technically no method because I'm just listening to a hypnosis.
I mean, I don't know if that's a method or not. I kind of mix things sometimes. Like sometimes I'll do like the thing with the senses. Like I'll try. I end up giving up in the end. But I try that. But I feel like I used to be a lot more I don't know what the word is, ordered, maybe, strict with how I would go about shifting, meaning like I had certain things I'd do in order before I'd try to shift. Like I'd clean my room, drink water,
yeah,
and pay for a certain amount of time, get in that headspace, and then I'd try to shift in without moving.
Yeah,
that's changed a lot since then because I do none of the above. Besides still.
Yeah, it's well also, I mean, I haven't really changed because the old me was in college and shifting while trying to shift in college was kind of hard because I had to wear headphones while going to sleep and it was super uncomfortable. And then even through the headphones I could hear like things that were happening on other floors. So it was really irritating. So I loved whenever I'd go home for the weekend and I could try to shift the whole weekend. So yeah, it was a hot mess.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Something I do recommend though is when I've attempted to shift, there's a big difference from when I listen to it out loud versus with headphones. I notice I'm a lot more focused and like I get a lot of more symptoms when I'm wearing headphones. So I'd recommend wearing headphones while you're trying to.
I don't like wearing headphones personally. No, I think it depends because you have AirPods, right?
No.
You don't have AirPods? Or you have that big headphones?
No, they're Bluetooth, but they're little. They're different.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. If you have like AirPods or like little tiny baby headphones, because I think my mom has those headphones that you showed me. Or like the big headphones that go over, like fully go over your ears. Rather than earphones. Hopefully I just got that one off. I think those would definitely help you, but the ones I had, like the Bluetooth ones I had, are these. Well, they're still Bluetooth, but they like wrap around my neck and then the string. They're more like workout ones.
Yeah.
So they would like, why did I say they in an accent? They would like come off while I was sleeping, and it was, I don't know, it was really uncomfy. So I think it really depends on the earphones you have. The problem I always had is that anytime I played stuff out loud, stuff can be too quiet. I did notice that the shifting hypnosis, like I was talking about a little bit ago, is kind of quiet. So if you can't hear it, I suggest putting in headphones. But I charge my phone right by my bed so I can hear it. I always had that problem with theta waves where they were too quiet, so I could only ever listen to them with headphones in, because they are too quiet.
Usually, I mean, I don't wear headphones and like much when I shift anymore, but I am more focused when I have them in because like it's just directly there and I don't have time to just like go to bed immediately, if you know what I mean.
Going back to methods, really quick, I kind of like touched about this where people make their own methods or mixing their methods. I hate whenever people, I kind of talked about this in I think the second episode, whenever people make, quote unquote, make their own method and it's literally already a method that exists, or like it's so similar. I'm like, I don't know, I think I'm over it. And then like they post it like, or like a big creator, I've seen a couple of big creators do this, so I'm not just talking about one, post their method that they do, and then they name it, and then they're like, it's super big, like it works for everyone. I'm like,
no creator should say it works for everyone or that like it's really effective, because that's just not going to be true.
Yeah, or like
it's different for everyone,
or it's like or like their method is basically super similar to another method, where I've seen someone like created a method that was it was basically the sunny method, and I'm like, why did you create this whenever the sunny method exists? I mean, I made a video about it too, and I was like, why are people doing this? I'm like, it makes no sense. I just didn't understand. Were there any methods you wanted to try, but you like never got around to it, or like you didn't want to because of like something that was part of it?
Sorry, this is gonna be a minute. I gotta
okay, I'll talk while you speak. The only method that comes to mind was the Alice in Wonderland method. I always wanted to try it. I had never met anyone that had shifted with it. It always seemed really interesting, and I thought I could visualize really well. But I never got a chance to try it. And I don't think I want to try it until I shift, just because I forgot the steps to the method.
Another method I remember I did try though was the heartbeat method.
Oh
yeah, I used to listen to Draco humming with the
I forgot that was a method.
Yeah, that one didn't work either, but this is not meant to be discouraging either.
Surprise, guys, we haven't shifted.
But a method I would want to try, I would say try again, would be either the piano method or the Estelle method, because I can't think of a different method that I haven't mentioned that I would want to try.
Sorry, I dropped my pen. Oh, I don't know if I said this with the Estelle method. So I wanted to try I had thoughts about trying the Estelle method. There are a couple of reasons why I didn't, because obviously at the time I was trying to shift to Harry Potter, and I started to like more than one character. So I would have never figured out who I wanted to dance with. And then I'm really picky about songs, obviously, as you can tell. I like a lot of songs.
Rain on Live.
Yeah, no, I like a lot of songs. I'm like, what playlist are we listening to? I literally am so close to 2,000 songs on Spotify. It's insane. Okay. But I'm like 20 songs away. Okay. But I would have been like, it would have been really picky because if like for each character, depending on my mood, I would have wanted a different playlist. But I don't know. I think those are a couple of reasons why I didn't do it. But then because generally in each DR, I had multiple like love interests. I can only think of like 2 DRs where I have like only one person that I'm really interested in. So that was like my main struggle.
I never had like a full playlist planned out for the style method. I chose like 2 songs that I'd want to dance to. I think that might have been why I was confused. I didn't know like the correct format for how to do the method. Like when I tried it, I didn't know really how to go about it to get from the dancing to whatever. If I was supposed to listen to music the whole time, or if it was supposed to shift into like theta waves or whatever.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I still don't know.
I know people made playlists just because it was easier, rather than just like 2 songs. So yeah.
I know my main 2 DRs that I'm shifting to, or the only ones that I've created right now, are the MCU or Marvel or whatever, and my Harry Potter DR. And I only have 1 love interest in MCU, and then I have 2 in Harry Potter. So I guess it depends. I see what you mean though with like the interests, with like the difficulty in choosing.
Because I think around the time that I was doing the piano method, I was interested in Draco, Fred, and George. Because I remember I was like, whose hand should I hold? But I remember I switched from Draco to like halfway through the method, I switched from Draco to Fred and George, where I just held both of their hands. Just because I was like, I didn't know who to pick. And it kind of helped me.
Give me your hands.
I'm like their little kid that they're like watching over because I'm so short. Someone said I gave off tall energy. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Estelle. So I gave off tall energy. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm like in between 5 foot and 5'1", so I'm not very tall. I'm the same height as C. Are there any other creators that are 5 foot?
I don't
know. Just for reference, I'm the same height as C. But no, I think it's because I film on like always like tall stuff. Like in my old place, I filmed on my windowsill, and then in my room currently, I film on my dresser, and it's like kind of a tall dresser, and I like back up. I don't know, but I feel like I don't give off tall energy. I think it's just because I'm loud and annoying.
I don't think you give off tall energy. Definitely short energy. No, I feel like you'd just be standing there with Fred and George, like, hello.
No, they carry me, and I'm just like, no, but I look like their small child that they're watching over. Yeah. But like with I think around the same time, going back to the style method, I was interested in Draco, Fred, and George, and I wasn't into Harry yet. And because I remember around the time that I was getting into Harry, I was kind of like as soon as I got into Harry, I kind of dropped Draco. I don't know, it was kind of a weird time frame, but I would have never been able to figure out who I wanted to dance with. Same for the MCU.
Mine would be between Draco and Theodore Knott.
Yeah, wait, I remember you're like, should I do a love triangle?
Yeah, I did. It is in there, it is written, it is happening.
I remember I made a video. Sorry, no. I made a video back whenever I was first starting my MCU script, and I was like, is a love triangle worth it? Because originally I was going to do a love triangle between Bucky and Steve. No.
Yes.
Wait, no, maybe it wasn't Bucky and Steve. It was between like a couple of people. I think it was Bucky. I debated a love triangle between Thor and Loki and Bucky and Steve, but I ended up never doing either of them. What?
Love Square.
No. So I just will figure out who I want. Like, what if I think Loki's an annoying motherfucker and I just like end up loving Bucky, and then Thor and I are besties and like Steve is gay. Like, what if any of those like what if that happens? Like,
No, I'm nervous for that too, because like what if I hate Draco and Theo and like I go off with Harry fucking Potter?
that's
Like,
why I don't script the love interest stuff. We definitely should have talked about this in the scripting episode. I'm surprised we didn't. I think it's because we're giving wonderful scripting ideas to everyone. But no, like generally I didn't do the love interest, or I never script love interest. And I know some people say that, I don't know many people that do it anymore, but it was really common back during Draco Talk that it was like blah 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 is interested in me. But I didn't want them to be interested in me because I was afraid that I wouldn't like them and I would end up falling for someone else, because I know that happened to a couple people where they're like, I scripted that this person was interested in, or like for example, I scripted that Draco wasn't interested in me, and then they ended up falling for Ron or something like that.
yeah,
Like
Nat like originally scripted that Draco had feelings for her, and then
she ended up hating him. So yeah, that's why I don't do anything like that. And I just let it happen naturally. But I'm also afraid with not like letting it happen naturally that I'll just like forever be alone in my PR.
Yeah, but like you have to also think about like your subconscious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Subconscious could be like, I got you.
My subconscious is like, like Debbie, like the Debbie Ryan smirk is like, I got you.
Like checking them off, like, okay, we got Harry, we got
all the Hogwarts boys. So yeah. So we kind of talked, or you kind of like talked about this a little bit, how you said you like your shifting, or your shifting like schedule, quote unquote, had changed, about how, and I think it changed like with misinformation that was spread around Shifttok. What was like the thing you believed in for the longest time? Like let me rephrase that. What is the misinformation that was spread around that you believed in for the longest time?
Jeez, I gotta think about it. There's so much misinformation.
I know. That's the point.
Oh, Jesus.
I know. Well, you and I like kind of talked about this, where obviously it's been like debunked. I don't know. I just keep saying that one. That you can move while shifting, but I still like, if I know sometimes I move. If I move, then like I get out of the mindset. Like I'm okay to like move my arm a little bit, but if I full on turn or like move too much, I will get out of the mindset.
Yeah, it's weird because now that I don't do those little things like drinking water, staying completely still, well, I still stay still, but doing all those little things, like I get less symptoms, which is weird. But I also think it's because like I was so sure of it at the time. Like I was like, this is gonna work.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's part of that, just leans into the intention method.
Yeah.
Because you're saying that it's gonna work, so it's gonna work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't need those things in order to shift, but you can use them if you want, I guess, in a way to help you.
I think you were also at that time like raising your vibrations by like doing things that were like good for you. Like you're drinking tons of water and people were eating healthy. I can't believe people were doing that. Like I already drank.
Was there.
Like I already drink a ton of water, so I literally just kept drinking the same amount of water. Fun fact, I don't like soda. So I really was only drinking coffee and water. So I just kept like I have a thermal flask and I literally refill it like 3 times a day. So I'm hydrated or whatever. And then people were eating healthy food. And then I can't believe I slept in Starfish. Like I sleep on my back. I can sleep on my back. I know some people can't. But people who couldn't sleep on their back were like face planted in their bed and were like
inhaling their mattress.
and then they looked like a dead person, probably because like their arms and legs were spread.
I found the Starfish position like really comfortable. Like I can fall asleep really easily on my back like that. So I was fine with it. But staying still in that position was definitely the thing that stuck with me the most and affected me most. Because now I don't really think about shifting unless I'm doing that. At least not the starfish part, but like the still part.
I still try to shift on my back. Like I find it most effective, like trying to shift whenever I'm on my back, or on my stomach. I find it also most comfortable. I can't sleep in any like position, but like I find it best on my back. And then obviously I put my hands on like my stomach, or like one on my bed and like one on my stomach.
I do that too.
Okay. Yeah, or like obviously, and then my legs are like I don't know, shoulder width apart, like normal. They're kind of just Jay chilling. But no, my hand normally I just have them like not here, but like obviously lower, but you just can't see me in camera. But I don't know. I found starfish really uncomfortable anyway, really uncomfortable. Even though I sleep on my back all the time. I think it's just how far away my arms were from my body. So yeah.
A question I always had about the starfish position was, were people with their arms to their sides down, or were they full on up in the car? I never knew. I always put them by my side, but I genuinely thought people put them in the air.
I would have walked. If I would have walked in and someone's hands were like their head was down a little bit farther on their pillow, and then their hands were all the way up, I would fucking lose it.
Which one was it?
Down.
Okay.
Your head was the top of the star.
But like, if you think of an actual starfish, it would be up.
Well,
why do we call it starfish position?
Because no one's gonna be sleeping like this. Like, are you stretched out?
Position.
What?
Like a treetop position, like an actual star. No.
Oh well, like okay. Sometimes whenever you sleep, like raising your arms is like kind of comfy, but I don't have room to raise my arms because I have a bookshelf behind me. Like, if you want to raise your arms above your head, well, sleep in a starfish, go ahead. But Olivia and I are laughing at you, just so you know.
Do one arm sometimes, like I was like hanging over my head.
Yeah, no. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, or whatever. I don't know.
It just happens that way.
What's other like crazy misinformation that's been like spread around, and people like full on believe it?
That your safe word won't work.
I never believed that. Thank God. Yeah, no. People were like, I got stuck in my DR, and I'm like, guys, no.
Sorry.
No, debugging that here now. The only thing you need is the intention to come back, and with your safe word, you're using the intention to come back / save action. So you cannot get stuck. Okay, next thing.
Shit, I forgot. Oh, it was, I don't know if I believe this or not. I also don't know if I am thinking about this because I saw it on a TikTok, or if it wasn't in a podcast of yours that I watched. I don't remember. But people shifting as like objects.
Yes, Sydney and I talked about this last episode.
Or not. I don't know if I can believe that, because that doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, Sydney and I kind of talked about if we didn't know if it was real or not. I was like, hey, do you remember whenever people were doing this? And she said, yeah. I obviously I don't know if it were like if they were lying or not, because you can only really shift as like real objects. Like obviously you can shift to be other people / face claims. Mm-hmm. So it would like the sorting, you know how someone was the sorting hat, I guess. Like we talked about how the sorting hat is technically a real thing. Like it talks and it lives. So someone technically could be the sorting hat, but like I don't know, like there's a lot of complications that don't make sense.
I can't believe it. I can't believe that people actually did that. I heard that people like were shifting as like the food.
That don't make sense. I remember that.
It was like mashed potatoes or something. No, you did not do that.
I remember someone, and then Sydney talked about someone being Harry's hair, and like I remember the food one and the Hogwarts and the sorting hat.
Yeah.
What else was Draco pushing people down the stairs.
That happened. So many people talked about that though.
I believed that.
I did too.
I was like, Draco won't push me down the stairs. And then I was like, Draco won't throw an apple, or if Draco throws an apple at me, I'll catch it. Like, that's literally what I scripted.
The shit out of me, basically, is what happened.
Like, and he was not doing that.
It's
Guys, he doesn't like really do that. And like, I'm pretty sure he doesn't really do it in the books or the movies.
He didn't do it in the movies. I know that.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't do it in the books.
Background of the scenes, you just see Draco pushing people down the stairs.
POV, you see Tom Felton push someone over. You see 16-year-old Tom Felton push someone over. That would have been really funny though.
Yeah. But I don't know how people like came up with that one.
I don't know. I wonder who like spread some of these. Some of these are kind of funny.
Unless like someone maybe read a fan fiction that it happened in, and then it happened in their DR, and then everyone
Well, like at the time that was like during Draco Talk, and not a lot of people had shifted yet, and not a lot of Harry Potter fanfic like had like good fanfic. Let me change that. Had been out yet. Yeah. So I don't really know. What is, I'm trying to think of like other, like, I don't know, I have to like think about it like a year ago, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, because all I could remember was like the water, eat healthy, do this and that, and suddenly I forgot all misinformation ever. What did you just pull up?
I'm looking them up.
Watching your mom?
I'm looking them up.
I'm watching my mom.
You don't need a script. I mean, a lot of people believed like you needed a script to shift, but you don't need a script to shift. I saw your Snapchat.
Yeah, no, we kind of talked about that last episode about the script or no script debate and what we think. Sydney and I were both for making a script. I know you really like scripting, because most of my friends really like scripting. But we said our reasons why we weren't for the no script. If you're interested in our opinions, check out the 3rd episode that says, is scripting traumatic events worth it? Or is scripting traumatic events even worth it? Like and subscribe. No, just kidding.
I thought of another, well, I looked it up, but I thought of another misconception. I mean, it goes along with the can't move thing, but it's like scratching or like itching. That if you can do that or can't do that.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people thought like if you like had to scratch something, like you just had to be like, you know, sit in it. Just like, oh my God.
I remember that. People were like, suffer, I guess.
And they're like, you have to ignore it. You have to ignore it.
Yeah. That was interesting. Hang on, I wonder if I could find more. I'm gonna find one. Well, one recently is that people think they should put like no effort into shifting in order to shift, and I'm like, no. Oh, well, like it's because it's like a debate between like several creators whether you should put like, and then like you shouldn't be excited, or you should try to keep calm while trying to shift. But it's people are recently saying that you should be excited while trying to shift. I'm like, what is it? Fucking tell me.
If I'm not like excited, or if I'm not like, I want to shift right now, like in that, you know what I mean, then I'm not gonna put a lot of effort into it. Like if I'm not really excited, I don't put a lot of effort.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I'm just like, yeah, and just kind of sit there.
I found another big misinfo that we almost missed, and this was so important. Whenever people said that they watch, or they could, the characters could watch us leave and reappear, and they knew whenever we left. That one was so fucking funny.
That one creator said that like Draco like cried or asked like where he's going. What?
And everyone straight up made fun of them.
I don't. That is so beyond stupid. I don't know how I ever believed that creator, because I did. When I first saw that video, I was like, oh my God.
I did at first, and then once I heard that it was immediately debunked and a lot of people were agreeing, I was like, okay. Yeah, no. And then he's crying and asked where I went and why I've been gone so long. And I'm like, what?
He was like, don't leave me again, or some crap.
Oh, and then someone said there was that creator that was like, if you take a bunch of melatonin, you'll shift. Do not take melatonin unless you need it, please.
Seriously, so many people were spreading that around for a good time
week.
there. Do not do that unless you are supposed to be doing that. And even that, don't use that for shifting, really.
Yeah.
That's not good.
And then people were like, it gives me weird dreams. And I'm like, it's just supposed to help you sleep. So I'm like, if you're not supposed to be taking it, don't take it. Guys, come on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there was a thing about clones.
Yeah, I talked about, Estelle and I roughly talked about that.
I'm thinking of you guys talked about. I'm sorry.
Well, like
everything you guys talked about.
No, it was okay, because that clone debate is still a heavy debate now because we don't know. And Estelle and I like touched on it in the second episode. The second episode is the multiverse theory versus the perspective theory. Check it out. But I don't know. It's because we don't know, and there's a lot of things that don't make sense. And I talked about why clones don't make sense and why I don't believe in clones. I don't know. Also, the clone word is stupid. It's literally just you. If clones are real, they're just you. Why do we have clones? Oh yeah, there was that myth that people like, you can't have doubts, and I'm like, what? Everyone has doubts.
That's the whole point. Until I shift, I'm going to doubt it.
And that's exactly. Like, obviously, I'm pretty confident in it now, and that like the universe is listening, and like my spirit guides are gonna help me. But honestly, I'm not gonna believe in it until I do it. And like, let's say if you were to do it tomorrow, it would make me believe in it more. But obviously, I'm not gonna believe in it until I do it.
Exactly. It makes me more sane knowing that we have a whole group chat of people that also believe it.
Mm-hmm. I love our group chat.
It's very dead, but like it's there.
For reference, Olivia and I met in the same group chat that Sydney and I met in, that we talked about in the previous episode. Shout out to anyone in the Shifted and Charting group chat. I haven't told the people in the group chat that I have this podcast. Some of them are on the story where I talk about it. But I might like send them and be like, hey guys, I have a podcast, listen to it.
But sidebar, what was I gonna say? We started talking because I texted you about my brother in college.
Yeah, that's
the only reason why we're here right now.
Yeah, the only reason why Olivia and I are still really good friends, or I mean, like how we became good friends, was because Olivia and I originally lived in the states right next to each other, and so I generally knew her state pretty well, and she did not know mine pretty well. Heart emoji. Anyway, but so obviously I was in college at the time, and she was talking about her brother, and then we were talking about college stuff.
It was like majors and like minors.
As you said, your brother was graduating, and I was like, oh, where's he graduating from? What's his major? And then I was like, oh, here's my major that I'm not majoring in anymore. And stuff like that. And then where I was going to school, and then and then I found out I wasn't even that far away from where her brother was going to school. And I was like, even though Olivia and I were once so close, we've never met each other.
And we had the opportunity.
I know. And I'm so sad that it didn't happen. It's going to happen. You are still my closest mutual, even though I moved states. So I think it's only like, I think now, instead of it being like a 2-hour drive, it would be like a 9-hour drive, probably, or like an 8-hour drive.
It's fine.
To go back to my old state would be like, and to go back to my old town would be like, it's like a 7-hour drive or 6.5, depending on traffic. But to go where you live, it probably like 7 hours, 7.5 maybe.
Well, to think of it, we were like maybe 2 hours away from each other.
Yeah, we were not that far away.
Because to meet at like the place,
We were gonna meet at a Six Flags, and because I asked her to come with, and Olivia doesn't have her license yet, so she didn't have a ride. That was the only reason why she couldn't go, and she was out of our way, like she was south, so we couldn't pick her up, so she couldn't go with. I was so upset. But it ended up being like, it was super hot that day, so I'm kind of glad she didn't go, because I ended up almost passing out. I remember you telling me that. I was like, I almost passed out, and you're like, what? But yeah, no, all my other mutuals now generally live in the East Coast, or on the East Coast, or on the West Coast, or live in a different country.
We surprisingly in the shifting group chat have a lot of people from Europe.
Yeah, we have a couple girls from the UK. Most of them are Scottish, and we have one from Wales, I believe. I think, yeah, most of them are Scottish, and we have one from Wales.
I think so.
But they are super friendly. And then the rest of us, I believe, are from the United States.
I feel like there's one more from a different, unless I'm messing that up greatly. Never mind.
I knew that there were like 4 of them from Scotland, and they're all friends. Yeah. And then obviously I knew that there was one more from the UK, and she's from Wales. But everyone else is from, that's a fat lie. One of them's from Canada. Sorry, Aiden. I don't know. I don't think Aiden listens to the podcast. Aiden, you should listen to the podcast, because I want you on an episode. Anyway, all
the Scottish girls in on one episode.
Gosh, that would be so funny. Half the episode is like me having to put like CC.
Yeah.
Because like I can understand them.
We work on a podcast.
I make that episode a YouTube episode. No, because I mean, I know I can generally understand them, but I know some people wouldn't be able to. No, but Aiden's from Canada. Then we have the UK girls, and then I think generally everyone else is from the US.
Yeah.
That I've talked to. Because I know
you're the only one that I'm actually like friends with, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't talk to any of them.
Well, I would say I talked to Aiden. Aiden is obviously really busy with school, and stuff like that. And then I did talk with someone else. She did have a shifting account. I don't know if she's ever coming back. She talked about possibly coming back. And then, do you remember her?
I think so. Oh, yeah.
No, so she was the first person I became friends with, like actual friends with, outside of the group chat from the Shifttok and Short group chat. Then Aiden was the next one. I don't know how we became friends. I don't remember how I became friends with either of the two. They might remember. And then obviously you and I became friends through talking about college and your brother. Yeah. And then I don't remember how I became friends with. I think I became friends with Aiden because I made a separate group chat with a couple of us that wanted to like do like a Zoom, which is what we're doing now. Do like a group Zoom, and Aiden and I were generally like quote unquote in charge of the group. I can't think about how I became friends with Sydney. And Allie, who I've also we talked about last episode. Allie and I kind of just started talking, like we'd talk off on and on, and now Allie and I talk every day. I don't remember how I became friends with Sydney. But yeah. Any last thoughts?
Any final words? All right.
Yeah, last thoughts. Wait, I sound like that pufferfish with that carrot in its mouth. Or motherfucker, I can't do it anymore.
I have no last words except whoever is watching this should shift tonight.
Hey, yeah, this is your sign to shift
Put
tonight.
into it. Don't just lay there like me.
My final words is, despite all the like misinfo that we've talked about today and methods today, I would say do research outside of TikTok. TikTok is not a reliable source. I did have Amino for a little bit. And I joined a group chat. It does really kill your phone battery, and I kept getting a shit ton of notifications, so I deleted it. But I suggest doing research on your own, on your computer, or anything like that, or with a friend who you really trust, who knows a lot about what they're doing, or spirituality, or a friend who has shifted before. That's what I highly suggest, rather than just getting all your info just based off of TikTok.
And only do stuff that makes you comfortable. Like, don't put yourself in uncomfortable situations with shifting. It should be a fun experience for you.
Yeah, I definitely agree, because you don't want to be in an uncomfortable place or spot while shifting, or in a new DR or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. All right. So also now that we what?
I said we did it.
I haven't even closed out yet.
No, but we still did it.
Okay, anyway.
It only took a few weeks.
But now that you've heard us talk about misconceptions, please do not believe in these anymore. I swear to God. Okay. Now that I've clarified that, all right. So I don't know. I forgot how to close out. Apparently. Okay. Anyway. All right. So this has been another episode of the podcast with Olivia. You can go ahead and catch next week's episode. On the same day. I don't know. I couldn't remember how to phrase it. Okay.
Next week's episode next week.
I'm leaving that. And catch next week's episode next week. Okay. Bye, you guys. Thanks for dealing with our stupidness.